I first heard about Vipassana 3 years ago. I wanted to try it because I had a lot of problems in my life.
The experience in the beginning was a little bit painful.
I said, never going to sit on a meditation cushion ever again. And then I left the centre and I found myself missing it.
I was able to deal with problems in a different way, completely different approach to living.
It took some time for me to settle and actually get daily practice. But once that started, the quality of life improves tremendously.
I sat my second course after 6 months. I was still a bit confused and still kind of struggling on. When I started serving, I started to really comprehend the bigger picture of Vipassana.
Had a solution. Having done my first sit, I was intrigued really. Also, it was seeing the other guys serving, like particularly the kitchen guys. I remember speaking to them afterwards and they were so warm and positive, encouraging of me to carry on the technique that I just thought, there's something good going on here.
I knew that I would be meditating and I would be serving and I would be helping others to meditate like somebody had helped me, of course, and did it for me. The first few days were a bit of a challenge, and then you just get into the routine. Everything is fine and it flows beautifully. Even those first few days, it didn't matter because everyone was so relaxed, so calm. If something went wrong, then it's okay, it went wrong.
When I first came here, I was like a bull in a china shop. I was making a racket, I was breaking things, charging around. I had to be reminded to be mindful a couple of times. I was like, right, yeah, of course.
I came to serve on a work period, and they were building the 80 bungalows at the time. I'm quite a tomboy. I like to get a hammer and, get my overalls on and stuff. So I thought, great, it'll be fun. And working with other meditators, it'd be a good experience, socializing with meditators. And it was perfect. So we were sitting 3 hours a day and working with power tools, which was challenging and fun, and putting up walls and laying underfloor heating. So it was a really interesting way of serving. And it really worked in terms of learning to meditate whilst socializing. And then after that, I started serving 10-day courses. I felt a bit braver.
It was really different to what I thought. It was hard work. I thought I'd be handing out salads. So it was challenging, hard work like you would on a regular working week.
Breaking through resenting these tasks was a real challenge. Breaking through that resentment was just the best thing, because then you tap into the meditative experience of washing dishes, of preparing vegetables.
In meditation, lots of sankharas comes up. And it's stronger. The meditation at the center is very much stronger than when you are at home. And it took a while for me to realize that, actually. So I meditated a lot. But then the fruit was that I also had a lot of things to face.
It's been a revelation working as a volunteer, and that somehow makes it easier to do tasks that otherwise I wouldn't have been so interested in.
There's no two different things, sitting or serving, just the action, When you're sitting, your position is like that. When you're serving, you're hammering, you're cooking, cutting the branches.
Often the servers are sitting in the hall at the 9 o'clock questions, so you naturally end up hearing quite a few questions and answers. And that was always good, because you hear students ask a question that you hadn't necessarily thought of asking, and then you think, yes, that is something I've been struggling with.
I continue to learn how to take it easy with the technique and be kind to myself and kind to others. You do your best, but then you go with the flow, take whatever comes, it's good enough. You know more or less in which direction you want to go, but the big learning process is letting go of those fixed ideas.
I think the quality of surrender, to be able to surrender, is very important. And that is also actually something that you can learn. It has to do with fear, with ego, with many, many things. But this is a very rare opportunity to be able actually to do that.
I've started to really practice Vipassana whilst I'm doing day-to-day tasks. So if I catch my mind daydreaming, I just try and come back to my breath or my sensation, and doing things in a calm way as well, rather than rushing.
The main changes I have observed in myself is less fear, I would say. As soon as you see it in yourself, you have less fear of doing stuff. You realize it quite quickly. You feel more free to do stuff. At the same time, you also feel more love for others, to be relaxed and to be open to things.
You become a lot more accepting of these worldly distractions.
Feel a lot more peaceful now.
I live in Bristol, and until now, until I served, I hadn't found anywhere to meditate with people. And I came to serve, and I found 3 people here from Bristol who know people, who all sit together and meditate Vipassana.
It helps me actually a lot to see people handle their difficulties also. I'm talking with them about stuff, gives me a little bit of insight and objectivity.
I feel very lucky to have had this opportunity. I've learnt such a lot about applying the technique in day-to-day life. It's actually a tool for helping deal with situations in a more balanced way, in a more harmonious way, in a way which is more beneficial to myself and in that way beneficial to others.
Just go in with a really strong determination to give everything you've got, knowing that you're doing a really great thing. You just get so much back. Come meditate, you're filled up again. It's a really special thing.
Go ahead and do it. It's fantastic. It's a really hard work. So you feel tired, of course, but you feel tired because you've done something really, really good.
My occupation to serve. You know, serving is doing things that you do by loving and being useful, efficient, beautiful.
It's like Goenka says, I'm convinced that this is a jewel, a real jewel. And I often think of him saying that because I feel the same way.